welcome to my channel. Welcome to the Kudzy Peps channel. So today I will be talking about the method of starting locks, and as per usual I've got my notes on my phone, and I hope this video will be very helpful to somebody that's looking to commence their lock journey and doesn't really know which method to begin with. So let's just get straight into the video. So the first method I will be talking about is the twisting method, the two-strand twist method. So with that method, all you do is you section your hair, then you twist it, and then that's about it. I believe that this is one of the easiest methods that you can do, and you can do it by yourself because anybody can pretty much start their hair by twisting their hair. That's something that's pretty normal, and then you kind of have control over which size locks you're going to have at the end. One of the things that you can expect though as you start your journey is that probably if you've got a looser curl pattern, that your locks may unravel at the ends, but this does end with time. The other thing that you can expect as well is it might take a little bit of a while for the pattern of the twist to kind of go away, but however this is quite a beneficial method because it does create quite a solid lock foundation for your locks, and at the same time it will allow you to achieve thicker locks over time as you experience budding as you go along your journey. Now the second method that I will talk about is starting your locks with plaits or braids. These are commonly referred to as braid locks, and these again are another very simple method to use because you do that by yourself anyway. It is quite a simple method to start with and quite a simple method to use. However, similar to twists and probably a little bit more of a problem is that it takes quite a while for the pattern of the braids to kind of fade. Usually you're looking at about a year before the pattern starts to fade away, and at the same time with this kind of a lock method you will notice that your locks are a lot more compact and you're not going to experience as much budding as you would do, let's say, with twist kind of pattern, because your hair is braided into such a compact state that it will take a bit of the time for the locks to kind of settle into its natural way. And at the same time, one of the drawbacks I would say, some people find it as a benefit to braid locks, is you have to maintain them with interlocking. So if you don't know how to interlock, this can be a bit of a problem, which means that you will have to seek a professional, and interlocking is one of those methods that doesn't really come very cheap or very friendly to the pocket because it is relatively time consuming. So the third method which you will and can use to start your locks is comb coils, which is the method that I use to start my locks. So what you do is use a comb and you use it to make one strand twist basically. For somebody that wants to start their locks and is kind of scared about how their locks may look in the beginning, I do highly recommend this method. However, I should mention that because when you do comb coils, you've got the hollow bit in the middle, it can take a bit of a while. Again, if you have a similar texture like myself and you have a loose curl pattern, it can take a bit of a while for your locks to kind of settle and compact and start the budding process to kind of form themselves into their locks. I will say as well, one of the things that I like about this method is that it does create quite uniform locks and it makes them look neater generally when you are starting them. And one of the methods that I do recommend for comb coils is to palm roll. Over time, when your locks do mature, you can use interlocking. I myself personally palm roll my locks, and I like that method because I kind of feel like it kind of carries on the same pattern as to which the comb coils were established. The benefits again for this is that any texture can use this method, whether you have thick hair or you've got soft hair, anybody can use this method to start their locks. The other method that I will mention is back combing. Now this method is very common for Caucasian people, or if you've got a very straight curl pattern, back combing is ideal for that. However, if you don't maintain your locks properly in the beginning, it can result to unnecessary matting, and at the same time, depending on the kind of look that you're going for, it can look a bit untidy if you don't put in the necessary work to make sure that they look as presentable as you would want them to be. The fifth method that I will mention is sister locks. Sister locks, which I do get my locks confused for quite often, are really tiny locks, which takes a very time consuming process to establish them. There's quite a lot of other YouTubers on here who do have sister locks and can probably go into depth information on what they're really about, but these are really tiny locks. So if you are somebody who's got, like, let's say for example, you don't have that much hair on your head, you've got a thin hair texture, I do highly recommend sister locks, because they will be quite a lot of them. Usually minimum people that have sister locks have got about 350 locks inside of their hair, so that this gives you a kind of sense of fullness to your hair texture and allows you to have flexibility of having your own hair as it would be if it was loose textured, but however it is in a more compacted or twisted or braided kind of style. What I would say with sister locks as well is it can take up to 6 months or 2 years for your hair to fully lock, and interlocking is kind of like an exact matrix method that you have to use. So if you are starting sister locks, you have got no choice but to kind of look for professional advice in how to maintain them and how to look after them properly. Otherwise, if you kind of follow your own patterns without the correct knowledge, you could end up damaging your own hair. The sixth method that I will be discussing is loc extensions. This is for people who are a bit impatient to have their hair locked and kind of want the lock effect quite straight away. So what it is somebody's old locks or false hair that has been made into locks will be attached onto your natural hair, and it will look like you've had your locks for a period of time. This is ideal if you want to have the locked look straight away. However, over time, I do not recommend this method, because if your hair texture is thicker or is not able to sustain the weight of the loc extension, you will end up with unnecessary breakage at the roots, and you will end up with unnecessary shedding, and over time this can actually affect the permanent structure of your hair type. And what I've seen with some people that have loc extensions is that they do cut off their loc extensions over time. So to me, it's just a bit pointless to do it in the first place. I might as well have started with my own natural hair. The seventh method that I will mention is the freeform method. Now, this is the method where you just kind of leave your hair to do its own thing. You don't necessarily comb it, you don't necessarily have to maintain anything. It's just your hair doing its own thing. Now, if you're somebody that likes a structured type of hairstyle, this is not for you, because the hair can be in such a state whereby one lock is thicker than the other, and you can have a lock as thick as this, or you can have a lock as thick as this. It just kind of varies depending on what your hair wants to do. Now, the final method that I will mention today is the instant locks. Instant locks is when you use a crochet needle to match your hair so that it immediately looks as if the locks had been established over time. Again, this is for somebody that doesn't really want to go through the process of starting with starter locks and then going through to the budding phase and then your locks finally maturing. If you want that matured look straight away, then this method is ideal for you. However, similarly to sister locks, I would say if you don't have the right method on how to do them and how to start them, I would not advise you to do it, because at some point, if you do decide that locks are not for you, your hair would have been fully matted in such a way that it might be difficult to kind of take down that kind of method. So yeah, that's all the methods that I can think about, for you guys today. But if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section and I will be sure to respond to you guys. And I do hope that this video has been helpful to somebody who is embarking on their journey and also was kind of confused on which one would work well for them. And as you have established from the points that I have mentioned, that is why I kind of settled for starting with comb coils as opposed to any other method. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope I will see you in my next video. For now, take care, God bless, bye.